Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my series on the Starship Troopers Terran Command Scenario Editor, where we are wrapping up our first little segment of videos covering basic use cases for the Starship Troopers Terran Command Scenario Editor. So, now you've created your missions, you've added objectives, you've added voice lines, attack waves, you've followed this series and you created something your own. Now you want to share it with the world and the Starship Troopers Terran Command Discord. So, the way to do that is we need to add a name to the mission, we need to add a description to the mission, and I'm going to show you how to add thumbnails and even a video little preview. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about. What I'm going to show you today is how to add a scenario name, a scenario description, a thumbnail, and a video as well. Now, I'm not going to show you how to make the video, but I'm going to show you how to add one of your videos. So let's get into it. All right, so we have our mission here that we want to show off to the rest of the Discord. So the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to go into options. Now, we haven't covered a whole lot of this menu here, but we have all sorts of options like the cap on the battle tier. Now, keep in mind, 0 means there's no cap, it's off. So there's all sorts of different functions in here that you can play around with, but the ones we're going to be focusing on for wrapping up our scenario and sharing it with the world is the name and the description area. So we're going to get started. So I'm just going to call this Lionstein's tutorial map. And then what we also have is the description. Now the description has about a 390 character limit. You can go a little above that, but that's kind of the soft cap. I wouldn't really go much higher than that. But just to show you a little bit more of what this is, I'm just going to keep it super simple. All right. So now we have our name and our description. So I'm going to go ahead and save. So now that we have saved our scenario name and saved our mission description, I'm going to walk you through how to add thumbnails and a video. All right, welcome back, and we have gone ahead and opened our mission inside of our folder here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up a photo editing tool of your choice. My personal choice is going to be paint.net. All right, now that I've got our photo editing program up, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get an in-game screenshot of your level, but without user icons. All right, so we are back in Terran Command temporarily, and I'm going to walk you through really quick some cool things. So I'm going to go ahead and if your keyboard has a 10 key numpad, you can rotate the camera around and then you can press the delete key to reset your camera. You can do all sorts of things in here, such as move your camera as well, but you can also press the multiply and divide keys to change the camera angle. Now what you can also do is you can press the F9 keys to hide any icons. So now you can take an in-game screenshot, or you can go ahead and just use this method here. Now what I'm going to actually do is I want this to look a little nicer. So I'm going to go ahead and take an in-game screenshot. Now that I've got my screenshot, again using F9 to disable the icons and the UI, I was able to get a full screen screenshot there. So now we're going to go back into our photo editor, and I'm going to go ahead and paste in our image. So here we've got our image. I can modify it if I want. That's a little against the spirit for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this the way it is. Now, this is a 19 by 10 by 1080 picture. And I'm going to save this. And I'm going to save this to my mission folder as thumbnail main.png. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this image to be a width of 512. And I'm going to maintain aspect ratio there. So 512 by 288. And then I'm going to save this as thumbnail small. All right, so now we have our two thumbnail images, and we'll be able to see how that works for us when we are ready to hop back into the game. Now, again, I'm not going to walk you through how to create videos, but I can give you some guidelines. The guidelines that you're going to need to follow are the video needs to be less than 20 seconds long and have no audio. And you can use any frame rate format you would like. I would recommend a video that is 1980 by 1080p and anywhere between 25 and 30 frames per second. Now, you are going to have to use your own video recording software. You're going to have to use the F9 trick to disable the UI, and you're going to have to add your own special effects if you want to. So I use OBS. In fact, I'm using OBS right now, and we can get a little inception-y here. So to add a video, after you've created your video, you have it all rendered, recorded, you have it the way that you want it, and it's under 20 seconds, what you can do is you can go ahead and add it to this folder here. Now, the name you are going to use is video.mp4. So the game will read that, the thumbnail small, and video, and get you all set up. So now keep in mind, in order to check and verify, you do have to restart the game. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, so we are back in Starship Troopers Terran Command, and I've gone ahead and selected scenarios. And we should be able to scroll down, and there we have it. We have Lionsstein's tutorial map, so that's our scenario name. We have our description here, and then we have our thumbnail. And then I used my video from one of my scenarios that I created, and I added that here as well. Now keep in mind, I added my own visual effects. You'll have to do that too if you're interested in doing that, but you don't have to. So now the final thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to package this for your players so that way they can enjoy your mission. So to do that, we're going to go into our scenarios folder. We are going to right click our scenario, and then we can either use WinRAR to create a RAR file, or we can just create a standard zip file by using send to compressed file. Now, keep in mind, Discord has a file size limit. So what that means is if your file is over 8 megabytes, you cannot just copy and paste and post it onto Discord. So what that means for you is you have to use some sort of file sharing system like Google Drive, and then provide that link over there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how that's done. So I am now over here in Google Drive, and I have my own Starship Troopers scenario folder here. Unfortunately, you can't get to this because of how I have it permissioned. So what I am going to do is I'm going to drag my mission into this folder here, and it's going to go ahead and upload. And then once it's done uploading, it's about halfway done, almost done. Okay, now that I have it uploaded, what I can do is I can right click this, select Get Link, and I can change the permission to anyone with the link can access this particular file. And then I'm going to head on over into the Discord. And I'm going to go to the scenario release channel. And I'm going to go ahead and put in my scenario name, some description that I want to use here. And in fact, I'm actually going to use the description from the actual mission here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and post the link. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link again. And I'm going to go ahead and post the link here. This way it gets around Discord's file size limit. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find that thumbnail that I used. And I'm going to drag that in here. Now, if you're watching this, the scenario that we have made over the last couple of videos is available for you to review and tweak and take a look at and play with. So that's what I'm doing here. And then there's going to be one more live stream where I'm going to talk about every single condition and effect that's currently available in the scenario editor. And then I'm going to be brainstorming some advanced use cases for future videos. So thank you all for watching and supporting this series up to this point, and I can't wait to do more and support more advanced use cases to help you in your scenarios. And I hope this series was useful to you and that you were able to get going on your map, and I can't wait to play it. Keep on it, and you're doing your part.